Welcome to the Sound of Norway. Today, we're diving into the real, living language, how Norwegians actually speak, laugh, and connect every day. Whether you're moving here, learning for fun, or just curious, you're in the right place. Get ready to tune your ears to a new frequency. Most expect learning a new language to be tough, harsh sounds, tricky grammar. But Norwegian is different. It's smooth, melodic, and surprisingly cheerful, almost sing-songy. Each region has its own unique accent, making it a true linguistic adventure. Norwegian sounds friendly and inviting before you even understand a word. Norwegian isn't harsh like its cliffs. It's sing-song, flowing, and bouncy. Conversations rise and fall, almost musical, with a playful energy that surprises visitors. It's less like a drum beat, more like a gentle string quartet. This melodic soundscape is the first thing that welcomes you to Norway. In Norway, the melody of language changes with the landscape. Oslo, Bergen, and Trondheim each have their own unique sound. Oslo's refined, Bergen's bold with its guttural, and Trondheim's sing-song melodic style. It's a journey through dialects as diverse as the scenery itself. Norwegian sounds melodic and bouncy, changing its tune from city to city. To foreigners, it's often a pleasant surprise, softer than expected, more relaxed than Swedish, and far from the harsh Viking stereotype. It's a language that feels both familiar and unique, inviting listeners in with its gentle, cozy charm. Let's hear Norwegian in action with a few everyday phrases. First, the greeting, Hvordan går det? Listen for the melodic jump, Hvordan går det? That makes it sound genuinely friendly. Next, after a meal, Takk for maten. Notice the cheerful, downward inflection, making gratitude feel warm and sincere. And finally, Kos deg, a cozy wish meaning enjoy yourself or have a good time, spoken softly, like a verbal hug. These aren't just words, they're little melodies that reveal the heart of Norwegian culture. The rhythm and intonation turn simple phrases into moments of connection. Listen for these tunes in daily life. They're everywhere. Norwegian's magic is in the music of its simplest words. You practice your Norwegian, order coffee in Oslo, and the barista replies in perfect English. Almost everyone in Norway speaks English fluently. Teens, grandparents, everyone. It's convenient, but for learners it's a challenge. Norwegians switch to English the moment they hear your accent. Why? Kids grow up with English TV, games, and the internet. So by school age, they're already bilingual. For you, this means you rarely Norwegian, even for daily tasks. The real struggle isn't grammar. It's getting Norwegians to stick with their own language. You have to be persistent, even stubborn to practice. It's a paradox. You're surrounded by native speakers, but English is always waiting in the wings. The biggest hurdle? The kindness and fluency of Norwegians themselves. Welcome to language learning Norwegian style. You've studied Norwegian on paper, but hearing it spoken is a whole new game. Written Norwegian, bokmål, is neat and standard, but spoken Norwegian is full of shortcuts and surprises. For example, jeg, I, looks simple, but is pronounced jeg. The G disappears. Phrases like hva det? What is it? Get squished into hva det? Letters drop, sounds blend. The gap between reading and listening can be huge, like English is going to becoming gonna, but even more dramatic. To really learn, you have to train your ears, not just your eyes. Listen everywhere, on the bus, in shops, at the pub. The real language lives in conversation. You've learned the Oslo dialect, then travel, and suddenly you're lost again. Norwegian dialects are wildly diverse, different words, grammar, and melodies. Ikke, not, becomes ikkje or itije. Jeg, I turns into egg, a, or I. Dialects are a source of local pride. Norwegians don't switch to the standard for you. For learners, it's humbling. Mastering one dialect is just the start. You become a linguistic chameleon, adapting as you travel. It's frustrating, but it's also a window into Norway's rich living culture. There's no single correct Norwegian, just a tapestry of authentic voices. Embrace the chaos. It's part of the adventure. Some Norwegian words look easy but trip up every foreigner. The KJ and SKJ sounds aren't like English K, they're soft, almost like shush or H. Kino, cinema, is hino, not kino. Kjoli, dress, is hyole. Vowels are tricky too. U in hus, house, is hus, not hus. Norwegian has 9 vowels, including Y and O, which don't exist in English. The word kjøttkaker, meatballs, is a classic trap. Try kjøttkaker. These sounds are subtle but crucial for sounding natural. The only way to master them? Listen, mimic, and accept a few laughs along the way. Norwegian pronunciation is a puzzle. Let your ears lead the way. The secret to learning Norwegian? Start with your ears. Before you speak, immerse yourself in the sounds, like learning a song by listening, not just reading notes. Binge Norwegian TV shows, Skam, Ragnarok, Norseman, using English subtitles at first. Don't stress about understanding every word, just absorb the rhythm and melody. Fill your day with Norwegian, radio, podcasts, music playlists. Let the language play in the background while you cook, clean, or commute. You're training your brain to recognize patterns and natural speech. Use language apps, but focus on audio. Listen, repeat, slow it down, then speed it up. Passive listening builds the foundation for real conversation. Be patient. Tune your ear before you try to play the music yourself. The more you listen, the more Norwegian will start to feel like home. After listening to Norwegian, it's time to speak. Forget grammar drills. Try shadowing. Listen to a native and repeat in real time. Mimic their sounds, rhythm, and intonation. It feels awkward, but it works. With daily practice, you'll sound more natural, bridging the gap from mimic to master. Don't stress about grammar at first. Focus on communicating and mimicking Norwegian melody. Norwegians sing their sentences. Simple sentences, natural rhythm, and confidence matter more than perfection. Grammar can come later. For now, just enjoy the flow and sound of the language. Learning to speak Norwegian naturally isn't just about sounds and sentences. It's about understanding the culture that shapes the language. The words people use and how they use them are a direct reflection of their values and way of life. To truly get the hang of Norwegian, you need to immerse yourself not just in the language, but in the Norwegian mindset. This means understanding concepts that don't have a direct English translation but are fundamental to everyday life. It's this cultural context that gives the language its true meaning and helps you use it in a way that feels authentic and respectful. The most famous example of this is the concept of koselig, or just kos. We've touched on this, but it's worth repeating. It's often translated as cozy, but honestly, it's so much more than that. It's a feeling of warmth, intimacy, contentment, and simple pleasures. A candlelit dinner can be koselig. A conversation with a good friend can be koselig. Sitting by a fire with a wool blanket is the peak of koselig. Understanding this deep appreciation for simple comforts will help you understand why Norwegians might use soft, gentle tones. It's a language born from a culture that values peace and well-being. Another cultural key is understanding the Norwegian love for nature, or friluftsliv, that's free air life. This isn't just a hobby, it's a philosophy. The importance of being outdoors, hiking in the mountains, or skiing in the forest is woven into the fabric of society. This connection to nature influences the language, from the specific words for different types of snow to the common greeting, God tur, which means have a good trip. Engaging with this part of the culture, even just going for more walks, can help you connect more deeply with the language and the people who speak it. Finally, try to embrace the social norms. Norwegians can be somewhat reserved at first, but they're also very polite and value community. Learning phrases like takk for sist, that's thanks for the last time we met, shows you understand these social codes. Participating in a dugnad, which is a communal volunteer workday for your neighborhood or apartment building, is another way to see the culture in action. By observing and participating in these traditions, You'll pick up language in its natural context. You'll learn the phrases people actually use, and more importantly, you'll understand why they use them. This is how you go from just speaking a language to truly living it. Norwegian is full of words that look one way but sound completely different. Take kjøttkaker, meatballs. It looks spiky but sounds soft, kjøttkaker. Or rod, the word for red. That O and soft D, tricky. And skje, spoon, just sounds like skje. In Norwegian, never trust your eyes. Norwegian has false friends, words that look like English but mean something else, like gift, which means both married and poison, or slut, which just means end. These words can trip you up, but they make learning Norwegian a fun adventure. Always double check before you speak. Beyond the tricky pronunciations and the false friends, there's a category of words that are honestly my absolute favorite. These are the words and expressions that are just so deeply Norwegian. They don't really have a simple English equivalent. They're like little windows into the soul of the culture. Learning them doesn't just improve your vocabulary, it actually gives you a deeper understanding of what Norwegians value and how they see the world. These are the words that bring the warmth and character to the language, the ones that make you smile once you finally understand the feeling behind them. They really are the heart of Norwegian. We've already talked about the king of all Norwegian words, koselig, that magical concept of coziness, contentment, and warmth all rolled into one. It's the feeling of a perfect moment. But there's another incredibly common and heartwarming expression you'll hear all the time. Takk for sist. Literally, this means thanks for the last time. You say it to someone you haven't seen in a while, whether it was yesterday or last year. It's a way of acknowledging your shared past and reconnecting. It's such a simple, beautiful concept. A verbal bridge that immediately closes the gap of time and makes the new conversation feel like a continuation of the last one. Then you have words that reveal the Norwegian love for simplicity and the outdoors. A perfect example is utepils. This word literally translates to outside beer. But it doesn't just mean any beer you happen to be drinking outdoors. It refers specifically to that first beer you have outside on the first sunny, warm day of spring after a long, dark winter. It's a cherished ritual, a celebration of the sun's return. The word itself is loaded with feelings of joy, optimism, and communal celebration. Just saying utepils to a Norwegian can evoke a powerful, shared cultural experience. And finally, there's a phrase that perfectly captures the Norwegian spirit of encouragement. Heia, heia. You'll hear this shouted at sporting events, during hikes, or really anytime someone needs a little boost. It's a catch-all cheer that means, go on, or you can do it, or keep it up. It's simple, energetic, and overwhelmingly positive. These words are more than just vocabulary. They are cultural touchstones. They are the phrases that once you learn to use them, make you feel a little less like a foreigner and a little more like you truly belong. They're the real, funny, and beautiful essence of the Norwegian language. You practice your Norwegian, gather your courage, and finally speak to a local. Their face lights up. Wow, du snakker så bra norsk. Norwegians genuinely appreciate your effort, no matter your accent or mistakes. Even a simple takk can earn you praise. It's a heartwarming, confidence-boosting moment for any learner. Now, let's talk about what often happens immediately after that wonderful, ego-boosting compliment. You've just been told you speak amazing Norwegian. You're beaming with pride, ready to continue the conversation. You ask your follow-up question in Norwegian, and then it happens. The Norwegian person, with the best of intentions, seamlessly switches to perfect, fluent English to answer you. It's a linguistic whiplash that every learner in Norway knows all too well. 1 second you're a Norwegian-speaking prodigy, and the next, the conversation has defaulted back to English, leaving your Norwegian skills on the sidelines, wondering what just happened. This automatic switch is not meant to be rude or dismissive. In fact, it comes from a place of politeness and efficiency. Norwegians are practical people, and they see that you are a foreigner. They assume that speaking English will be easier, faster, and more comfortable for you. They think they are doing you a favor, helping you out by meeting you on common ground. They don't realize that for you, the learner, the struggle is the whole point. You want the challenge. You want to practice. But their helpful nature inadvertently becomes one of your biggest obstacles to immersion. This creates a frustrating paradox. You need to speak with native speakers to improve, but the native speakers are so good at English that they prevent you from doing so. It can feel like a game where the rules keep changing. You initiate in Norwegian, they respond in English. You try again in Norwegian, they reply in English again, perhaps even more slowly and clearly, as if you didn't understand their English the first time. It can be disheartening, and it might make you feel like your Norwegian just isn't good enough, prompting them to switch. But that's rarely the case. It's usually just a reflex on their part. This constant back and forth can turn simple conversations into a low-key battle of wills. You're stubbornly sticking to Norwegian, and they're stubbornly sticking to English, both of you believing you're making the other person's life easier. It's a bizarre, unspoken negotiation happening in the middle of a chat about the weather. This experience is so universal that it's a running joke among expats and immigrants in Norway. It's the ultimate good problem to have. The locals are just too helpful and too skilled for your own good. It's a unique challenge that requires a specific strategy to overcome. So, you're stuck in the English switch loop. You say something in Norwegian, they reply in English. What do? Do you give up and revert to English? Absolutely not. This is where you need to be prepared with one of the most important phrases in your language learning toolkit. It's your secret weapon. The phrase is simple, polite, and direct. Kan vi snakke norsk, vær så snill? This translates to, can we speak Norwegian, please? It's a game changer. Saying this clearly communicates your intention and turns the interaction from a guessing game into a partnership. When you use this phrase, you're doing more than just asking to switch languages. You're explaining your goal. You're telling the person, I know you speak perfect English and I appreciate it, but I am actively trying to learn your language and I need your help to do it. Most Norwegians will react very positively to this. Their expression will often change from one of polite efficiency to one of genuine understanding and support. They'll smile and say, Ja, selvfølgelig. Yes, of course, and will then make a conscious effort to keep the conversation in Norwegian. You've just turned a helpful stranger into your personal language tutor for the next few minutes. You might need to add a little more context to really sell it. You can follow up with something like Jeg prøver å lære, which means I am trying to learn. This little addition adds a layer of vulnerability and earnestness that is very effective. It frames your request not as a demand, but as a plea for help on your learning journey. Norwegians are generally very supportive of this. They appreciate the dedication it takes and are often happy to slow down, speak more clearly, and help you find the right words. You have to be brave enough to ask for what you need, and this is what you need. Remember to be patient with yourself and with them. Even after you've made the request, they might occasionally forget and slip back into English out of habit. When this happens, don't get discouraged. You can gently nudge the conversation back by simply continuing to speak in Norwegian yourself. Your perseverance is key. It shows them you're serious. Learning to navigate this interaction is a skill in itself. It's about being persistent without being pushy and being clear about your goals. Mastering this little social dance is a huge step toward real fluency. Norwegian isn't just one sound. It's a symphony of dialects, a chorus of regional identities, and a language that feels both ancient and modern. Learning it unlocks a new level of connection, turning you from outsider to insider. It's more than communication, it's participation, opportunity, and belonging in Norway. Learning Norwegian is a journey, full of quirks, warmth, and rewarding moments. Start by listening, try a word like takk, then a phrase, ha en fin dag. Share your stories and questions below. Let's build this community together. Like, subscribe, and takk for at du sa pa.